we're live. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Audra Baker. If you don't know me yet, welcome to my world. I'm the founder and the creator of Love It to Lose It. This is the only system on the planet that incorporates what it means to lose all of your weight. So instead of it just being about losing your physical weight, which we're going to talk about today, but the reason why you're even holding on to that in the first place is because the physical weight is just a placeholder. It's a placeholder for your unresolved emotional and mental stuff that just sits there unresolved, heavy. So heavy mental weight, heavy emotional weight equals a whole lot of heavy physical weight. So this is what we do inside of Love It to Lose It. If you want to lose it, baby, you got to love it. Tana in the house. Hey love, how are you doing? Good to see you. This is our Friday video. This is, I'm in the middle of a special live training for everybody. So super excited. Let me wave to Tana. I miss you so much. We've got to connect this weekend, so no messing around, young lady. Okay, for real, Tana, DM me immediately so that way we can make some, we need to see each other. I really want to see you. Okay. So let's get to work. I get so excited about this work. What I wanted to do was talk about something that I'm working with. I'm trying to find the right, let me go notes. My ideal, here it is. So yeah, Audra Baker, Love It to Lose It. This is what I do. And ultimately what my main mission on this planet is and what I do is I help women release and heal their old patterns. The old patterns of physical, mental, and emotional trauma without ever having to go into the story. So you don't have to go into the story of the trauma, but I can literally help you lighten up the load physically, mentally, and emotionally. So that way you can easily come into your right-sized body and you can experience more in your life. You know, you can experience more connection to your body, connection to the people that love you. You can experience more love. You can experience just what it's like to have more energy and vibrancy in your life. And so what I found is that so many women, we're really successful in some part of our life, right? Either we've got a career that's going good, or we've got maybe a relationship that's going good, or we've got something there's some good shit in our life. Maybe we're a mom and we're really good at motherhood and we're really proud of ourselves for some aspects, but we can't figure out this whole body thing. What the hell, right? How many times have we gained and lost weight, which is my story. You can go back to the first training, which I did just 2 days ago. And that was my story. I gained and lost 40 pounds 40 times over and over and over again. I couldn't figure this whole body thing out. But yeah, I found that we're successful in one part of our life, but we can't figure out this whole body thing, and that there's a challenge here because we're pissed off and we're struggling because our clothes aren't fitting. We're not feeling good in our body. We're constantly obsessing over food, right? Which is, if you know that, you know what it feels like to just constantly be obsessing over, is it enough? Is it too much? It's say hi to Lisa Chrysler right here. So all of this obsession that we have over food, and then the next thing we know, we're not feeling confident in our body, and then we're totally frustrated, beyond frustrated when we try the thing. And what's the thing? Diet and exercise, right? This is what I talked about last session. So this is the second video in the training series over the holiday season, and it doesn't work. It only works for this amount of time. Why? Because you can't put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. So if you're gaining and losing weight over and over again, it's telling me that there's something else underneath there that needs healing, something deeper, like a bullet hole, and you can't put a Band-Aid over it. And I want you to think in terms of dieting and exercise as the actual bullet. I'm sorry, that's the Band-Aid. Band-Aids don't work unless it's a superficial thing, but most of us are holding on to excess weight because of things that are much deeper. They're not superficial. They need more than a Band-Aid, and this is what I do. This is literally what I do. It's a struggle whenever I meet women that really believe that diet and exercise is the answer. And they think it's the answer because it's the answer for a period of time, right? You're like, nope, in January, I get my head on straight and I do this, and then the weight goes off. And then I go, great. I'm glad that that's what you do. Hey, Amanda, thank you, right? Isn't this totally key? And then what happens is that you end up gaining it back. Why do you gain it back? Because there is a mental block, there's a mindset block, and there's an emotional component as well, okay? All of this goes back to past negative experiences, goes back to the trauma body that we hold in our body. And I am an expert at helping us get rid of that. and take care of that in a really powerful embodied way, because what we want to do is integrate, right? Yay, let me say hi to Sherry. I haven't seen you in so long. And Lisa Chrysler, it's so good to see you. I haven't seen you since San Jose, California. Say hi to everybody. Brian's here. Good to see everybody. So in order to lose weight, in order to like really, and I don't just mean the physical weight, I mean the emotional weight and the mental weight. That's the stuff that holds us down. Like it's almost like the physical weight, like when that starts to disappear and we start to come into our right size body, it's just like the cherry on top. You know what I mean? It's the cherry on top. And so we start to, you know, we feel this peace and we feel this freedom, right? But we have to do it in a very specific way. We have to heal emotional blocks, and we have to expand our capacity to feel. We have to be able to feel it. If we want to heal it, we have to feel it, right? And this is what I do. This is what I do. We have to develop a more resilient mindset. This is also another key. Mindset is not everything. We actually have to go in and look at what's going on in our body and the ways that we're disconnected from our body. And usually what creates the disconnection inside of our bodies is old past trauma experiences. Things come up that make us freeze, that make us numb out, that make us go to food in order to not feel, that make us drink too much alcohol in order to not feel. So do you see how none of that has to do with dieting and exercising? I know, right? So what I want to do is in this training series, I'm giving you little bits and pieces of my Love It to Lose It system over the course of the holiday season. So I'm really here to support you and to support those. So anybody that you know that needs this, like share it with them. Please share it with them, okay? I want this in their hands too, and so do you. And keep tuning in, because this is legit. This is a totally different paradigm that nobody is touching on, okay? Now, what we're going to talk about today is the actual physical weight. And the reason why I think it's so great to actually start this process right now, like while it is Christmas and Hanukkah and Thanksgiving and New Year's and all the things of the holiday season. Now is the time to start, because if you go in, one of the biggest things that keeps you stuck is the diet mentality, is that I'm going to start on this date. Because here's the problem. If you start on one date, like let's say January 1st or January 2nd, whichever day, right? Most people start January 2nd because they're nursing the hangover on January 1st. I'm just saying. I know. I've been there too. I hear you. But whenever you choose a date to start, what do you do before that date? What do you do before the date? You eat a metric shit ton of food, don't you? Like, this is why it's so cliche. It's like you start on January 1st, but then what do you do from Thanksgiving to December 31st? It becomes like this entire food fest. The typical American gains something like 10 to 15 pounds. They can inside of that short 5 to 6 week period because of the mentality of I'm just going to start on January 1st. What I want to postulate to you, let me say hi to Forrest, is that if you do this is a big problem. What you want to do is let go of the starting and stopping mentality. That alone, if you just stop doing the dieting thing, everything will shift for you. You will actually end up consuming less calories when you just let that shit go. Stop with the controlling, stop with the rules, stop with the drama. That is not your problem. Your problem is that you are disconnected from your own body, okay? Your problem is that instead of going inward and finding out, God, am I hungry? Wait, that was enough food. I don't need any more than that, right? Instead of having this internal dialogue with sensations with your body and feelings with your body, you're looking outside of you for the latest guru, for the latest diet, for the latest this. And I'm telling you that it's not the easiest thing on the planet to do this, but it's worth it, because wouldn't it be so cool if you never, ever, ever had to lose weight again for the rest of your life? Wouldn't it be so cool if this was the last time it ever had to happen? Like it's done and done, because you end up becoming a different person on the other end of it. It's that powerful, y'all. It's that powerful. So that's what I want to talk about today. We're going to be talking about, I have my notes right here. That's what I'm looking at. This is how you can actually start to lose weight without ever counting points, counting calories, counting macros, killing yourself at the gym. Like stop with all that stuff. If you want my story, go back to 2 days ago, the training that I did. And you could also jump on my list. You can go to Audra at audrabaker.com. You go to audrabaker.com, you can sign up, and I'm going to send out emails to my community, so that way I have a special place where all the trainings are going, so you can go look at any of them at any time. Where my story of how I was able to let go of all of that. It's very, very important. And also let go of crazy psychotic exercise. So that should be like a big win for people who, have even a hard time getting to the gym. It doesn't have to revolve around fitness, although moving your body is a part of it. It's not the whole puzzle, okay? So how can you do this without all of that crazy crap? And what I want to teach you is that there's 3 components that we absolutely have to be looking at, okay? One is the actual physical weight. And right now, let me just give you the 3 components. One is the physical weight. One is what's going on with your mental weight, the mindset that you have going on in your head. And the third part, which I think is the most overlooked and the most important, is your emotional weight. What's going on inside of your emotional body, which is connected directly to the oldest part of your nervous system, your primal brain, okay? And this is the part that keeps you safe and alive. So your emotional system is like a navigating system, what's okay and what's not okay. And then your primal brain, all the information goes there, and your primal brain goes, not safe, Audra might die, Lisa might die, Amanda might die, Sherry might, no. And then if it gets scared enough, it will shut down. And this is when you get the freeze response, which is what numbing out is. When you're overeating, it doesn't even have to be like a binge eating or an emotional eating. It could just be stress eating or just overeating at every single meal. It's a way to check out, okay? And so when we can work with the emotional weight, when we can expand our capacity to feel our feelings, then we stop going towards the thing, the substance, the behavior that we use in order to not feel. So if you're watching this, maybe food's your thing. You use food to not feel, or maybe alcohol is your thing. You drink too much. You use that to not feel, or drugs, right? I think it's great that pot's getting legalized everywhere, but that doesn't mean that, using marijuana is the same way you can use alcohol. It's the same way you can use food. People are cracking me up, especially here in Dallas. God, you can't walk anywhere without smelling pot. It's not even legal here yet, which is hilarious, but I'm just everybody's just walking around half asleep to their own life. You know what I mean? It's like going out and drinking every single night. If that's what you have to do, if you have to have 2 glasses of wine or more every single night just to manage your emotions and manage your nerves, there's something deeper going on. And if you keep putting the thing on top of it, it's absolutely saying hi to everybody. If you keep putting the thing on top of it, you're not going to heal the true depth of your soul. You're not going to actually get to the other side. You're going to keep using the thing. You're going to keep using the sugar, keep using the food, keep using the booze, whatever it might be. Okay, so if this is about getting real, this is what I do. Okay, it's fun. It doesn't have to be so heavy either. That's the other thing. But what we're going to go into today, we're going to really dive into, is just the physical weight, because this is step 1. Most people are like, man, come January 1st, I do want to go on a diet. First thing, I already said it, let go of dieting. It's so not helpful. Learn a different way to be in relationship with your body. So what I teach to my Love It to Lose It tribe is a very basic system. And it's so basic that when my clients learn it, they don't believe it. And then when they start to do it and we get on the phone, I'm like, they're like, my entire life has shifted. I can't even believe it. My mind is blown. And I'm like, pretty fucking amazing, right? Pretty fucking amazing. I'm just saying. So the first thing is that the only time, and I'm just going to give it to you here, free trainings. I want you guys to have this. The very first thing. The hard part about doing this first is that people are like, yeah, right, whatever, and they turn it off. But I'm like, if you just give it a try, everything will change. So the very first thing, only eat when you are physically hungry. That is the only time you eat. Physical hunger is an actual thing in your belly. It's a feeling. It's a sensation in your body. And don't get caught up. It's not always the exact same sensation, right? So sometimes it feels like tummy pain. Sometimes it feels like lightheadedness. Sometimes it feels like agitation and irritation. So there's a lot of things that it can feel like. But once you get the hang of it, you're not eating because you feel a feeling. All of a sudden I feel a feeling, so I'm going to try to stuff food down so I don't feel the feeling. The other one is head hunger. So head hunger is like you're just up in your head and you're like, oh my God, I kind of want this. Maybe you want that. Oh, look at that drive-through. Maybe I'll go through there. Right? Not head hunger. You don't decide if you're hungry from up here. You decide if you're hungry from down here. It's physical hunger. Every time I have clients do this, they lose their shit because they're used to eating on a clock. They eat breakfast at this time, lunch at this time, dinner at this time, a snack at this time. They don't even know if they're hungry or not. I'm like, just fucking try. Like, what's the worst? And the primal brain, the oldest part that wants to keep them safe and alive, freaks out because what if they go hungry and die? Like, that's literally what's going on in the primal brain. And I'm like, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to skip breakfast because you're not hungry. Then you'll be a little hungrier for like before you'd eat lunch. Like if you eat lunch at noon, you might get hungry. I mean, like, just wait till you get hungry. Like, try it. So that's the first thing. Literally, if food comes anywhere near your mouth, the very first thing you do is you go, hold on, am I physically hungry? Like, really tune in. And if you're not sure, put the food down and wait until, like, eventually, trust me, physical hunger will happen. You will feel physically hungry, I promise, okay? And the beauty of this, and then the next part is you're only eating when you're physically hungry. And then the second part is eat what you want. Eat what you want. Stop with the bullshit diets. I'm telling you, if you're physically hungry and you're going to force yourself to eat some weird salad-y thing that just makes you think that you're going to be all prim and proper and I'm going to lose weight if I do that, you're going to finish it and then you're going to sneak in line at Starbucks and get a Frappuccino and a cookie later. You know it. You like don't do that shit. Eat what you want. When you're physically hungry, pay attention to what your body really wants and needs to be nourished. If you're physically hungry, usually when I'm physically hungry, I want anything. Like, I'm just like, give me a cookie, give me this. But if I'm honest with myself, if it's time to eat a meal, I'm going to nourish myself, right? And then I feel so good afterwards, okay? So eat only when you're physically hungry, and when you're physically hungry, eat what you want. And the next one, which isn't as easy, this is huge. Like, once my clients get these like mind-blowing shifts, the next part is to stop, like, push the shit away when you've had enough. What does satisfied mean? We use a hunger scale. A 10 is you overdid it. You're about to puke. Thanksgiving Day, you ain't happy, right? A 1 is you're hangry. You're not just hungry, you're hangry. The problem with these two numbers is that if you let yourself get down to a 1, it takes T minus 30 seconds to stuff, maybe not 30 seconds, maybe like 3 minutes to stuff so much food in your face to like get up to a 10. And both numbers suck. Like, goal with the hunger scale, don't hit a 10 and don't hit a 1, okay? 5, it's in the middle. I'm not hungry, I'm not full. Like, I'm neither. If you're not physically hungry, then you don't eat. If you're at a 5, you don't eat. Anything 5 above, you're not physically hungry. You start to drop down to a 4 and below, you're physically hungry. Game on. Eat something. It's going to be great. But then notice, I'm a big fan of not going into a 10. Ugh, 10 suck. Who knows 10s? Do y'all know 10s? Like when you just totally overdid it. You feel sick to your stomach. Thanksgiving Day is a big one. Did anybody feel that way for Thanksgiving Day? Where you're like, oh, what was I thinking? I hate myself. Those are the worst. And a 9 is not much better. A 9 is just awful. So like, I'm a big fan of not eating any higher than an 8, right? Somewhere between like a 6 and an 8 is great. I think 7 and 8 where you feel really nice and satiated is powerful, okay? So that's like literally the trick. Now here's where it gets fun. Fun's the wrong word because it's not fun when you're trying to figure this shit out. I know I'm kind of making a joke about it. But ultimately, food comes to your mouth, you go, wait, am I physically hungry? You stop and you realize you're not physically hungry. Shit. You have to put the food down because the golden rule is I'm only going to eat when I'm physically hungry, right? Powerful lesson, because now you know, then what the F? Why do I have this food up to my mouth? What else is going on that I think food is going to be the answer, right? What? And you might not always get the answer right away, but sometimes maybe like, oh my God, I'm stressed, or I'm in my head, or I'm lonely, or I'm tired. There's like a quadrillion reasons why we eat that are not physically hungry. A quadrillion, right? So this is a practice, y'all. And this is what makes this time of the year the freaking best time of the year to start this process. It is so powerful because it's Christmas and it's the holidays and it's family and it's eating and it's parties and it's all the things, right? So what if you figured out how to only eat when you're physically hungry. So if you know that the party's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight, and you know that your family's going to be there and somebody's bringing that famous dish that everybody loves, and your aunt's bringing her famous cookies or whatever, girl, just make sure you're freaking physically hungry. Like plan it out to make sure there's not a shadow in the doubt. Now, don't show up hangry. Use your scale of 1 to 10. If you're a 1, you're going to out-eat and out-drink everybody there, and you're going to go home numbed out, pissed off at the whole world. That's not helpful, right? Were you guys feeling me? Yes or no? Are you with me? How is this feeling for you? How is this sounding for you? Pretty powerful, right? Love this. So eat only when you're physically hungry. This time of the year, it teaches you how to connect with your body. And at the same time, you're connecting with your body. You are learning that you don't have to diet to start to see changes in your body, the physical weight. The answer is having that bigger, more deeper connection to your body. And from there, your weight stabilizes. From there, if you are overweight and you are only eating when you're physically hungry and you are stopping at like a 6, a 7, and an 8, your body will down regulate, because our bodies are, in Chinese medicine, it teaches us that our bodies want to thrive, right? It makes sense. The system is not designed to be screwed up. Our system is designed to thrive. And so when we pay attention, what happens is that you start to come into your right-sized body. It's very powerful. Now, there's more to it than this. There's a lot more to it. I'm a nutrition educator. I teach healthy food versus shit food, right? I know that there's so many other pieces to the puzzle, but this is a big, powerful start that will blow your mind. And this is why I want people to get on the wagon. Not January 1st. Stop with the dieting bullshit. Like, get on now, and this is how you can start to change and start to lighten up the physical load. Now, last piece I want to say about this. Say hi to Mark. Mark, it's good to see you, buddy. The last piece I want to say about this is that what we're talking about right now is the physical weight. Number 1, you've been doing it wrong for your entire life, going on diets and thinking you have to join a gym. That's not the right. You need the right strategy. I gave you the right strategy. It feels simplistic, but it is the foundation of making massive change. Foundation, okay? For physical weight. Now, the physical weight is a placeholder. It is a placeholder for your unresolved shit. The mental shit that's weighing you down and the emotional shit that's weighing you down, okay? So what we went over today is how we start to release physical weight. And what we're gonna start to do over the next few trainings is look at mental weight and look at emotional weight. And I'm gonna give you guys tools and tricks and strategies that you can start using now, even during the holidays. What I'm trying to say is if you, one of the best ways to experience this time of the year is to be fully alive and fully present in your body and fully present to the experiences that you're experiencing. It's so powerful, okay? But if you're shoving alcohol in your body and you're shoving food and it's this like free for all and it's over the top, that's called numbing out. That's called actually trying to not feel like what you could be experiencing. Like you could be experiencing like massive love and massive connection to other people and to yourself as well, and feeling vibrant and energetic, and you can actually have that. You could literally have that. It's so cool, okay? And this is how, right? So today we went over a really powerful concept of how you can lighten the load of your physical weight. Next session, when do I have my next session? Monday! Monday is the next session. We're gonna start to get your brain on board. We're gonna get your brain on board. We're gonna talk about mindset, and we'll talk a little bit about the brain. And then we're gonna get into the emotional body, and then we're gonna get into pleasure and relaxation. We're gonna get into all the good, juicy stuff that you literally can have right now. So if you know that you are struggling in this part of your life, or if you know somebody who is, like, God, you know somebody who's like, this has been a lifelong struggle for them, send me a DM. Drop me a message. It's really that easy. We're all on Facebook together. Just send it and I'll get back to you. And we can start a conversation. Like, we can start a conversation of how I can help. This is what I do. I do this for a living. I've been doing it for a long time. And I'm really proud of and honored to do the work that I do, because it's so transformative. It is so deeper than just let's lose weight. Okay, usually that's the sticking point. The sticking point is I'm sick of being this big. I'm sick of feeling like shit. I'm sick of overeating. I'm sick of overdrinking. I'm sick of feeling stuck in my body. And that is a good, beautiful entrance into really, really deep transformation, where the weight loss and the energy, it's like the icing on the cake, because the real transformation is from the inside out. So, glad you were here. Hope you loved this. Really happy to be here. Send me a DM if you have questions. I'm literally on my Facebook every single day. You know, social media, that's what we do. Loving everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Mwah. See you next time. Bye.